But what can you say about how your rookie impacted this game?
He didn't seem like being nervous, so he played fucking amazing.
With nearly 19,000 fans in attendance, on a night where the world was tuning in to see Victor Wembanyama, things took a turn instead, and they got the Luka Doncic and Dereck Lively show. At the end of the first quarter, it looked like the Spurs would have the command of this game as they came out in rhythm scoring 43 points, truly ridiculous, but the Dallas Mavericks soon regrouped and made this game interesting. While the Spurs had the biggest lead of the game at 12 points, and with there also being 11 lead changes throughout the game, it wasn't easy for the Mavs to secure the dub, but behind the 33 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists triple-double from Luka Doncic, the Mavs came out on top. Although finding his rhythm from deep was difficult, when shots like this fall for you, this is when you know it's just one of them nights. When catching the ball after running off the screen, Sochan's momentum is going downhill, so when using this stunt dribble into this through the legs, it already creates a massive amount of space, but then Dončić throws in a step back as well for good measure. Luka's ability to stop on a dime is remarkable, so when the defender is on his back while he pushes towards the rim, he pretty much has them in the palm of his hands and can stop hard on that pivot foot to let Sochan keep running, and it's what? A money ball from Luka from the midi. And even Dončić knows it's a nice move as he's smiling while he gets back on D. For defenders, it can be difficult to judge what Luka is going to do next, so when he's probing inside and feeds this up fake, it makes Sochan bite hard on it, and now he can use his soft touch to float it right in. Now look how Luka is talking to Lively after this play. He's letting him know to be ready for the lob because if his man commits to help on Dončić, then he will be receiving the pass. Hey, you don't believe me? Well, watch this. As Luka comes off this high screen from Lively, he slows down to keep Sochan on his back, so this puts Zach Collins in a tough situation. Either you step up and guard Dončić or you cover the role. But since Collins never fully makes a decision, Luka says I'll pick for you and lobs this up to Dereck for him to crush it all over the top of Collins. A major poster, shall I say. This high screen with these two is going to be extremely deadly because when going downhill they both are a threat around the rim, so when Luka seamlessly turns this dribble into a lob right in front of the rim, ladies and gentlemen, we all know what's coming next. As a rookie in your first game, scoring a lot is something you don't really expect, but even more than that, you really don't expect to not only have one, but two poster dunks that make the crowd go, ooh. His ability to navigate into space on the court is a valuable skill set, so when he's on the court with an exceptional passer like Dončić, when he slips behind Collins and there's a slight opening, Luka can one, zip it right over the head of the 10-foot alien in Wemby, but two, he can put it right on the money where only Lively can get it, and now Dereck can reverse this in on the other side. When you tend to analyze rookies, it's not many that have that instant impact on the game or have such a natural feel, but when you watch Lively, you get just that. From grabbing rebounds and putting them back up, to then soaring in and slamming home putbacks, and to make things even better, he had this late game defensive stop where he stole the ball and he got it to Kyrie, which helped seal the game for the Mavs. Pairing this type of big with Luka and Kyrie will be great, and I want you all to let me know how you feel about Lively's impact in the first game. But to shift gears back, the patience when attacking the rim for Luka needs to be studied. As Johnson cuts off Luka going off the screen initially, Dončić goes back the other way using the screen once again, and with his high threat of passing, the defense is now very alert at the lob, so Collins doesn't even step up. Since Luka notices not only that, but also that Keldon is trailing behind, he uses his two steps, but on the second one, he plants hard, just stopping on a dime, allowing Johnson to fly into him, and finishes the bucket through the contact for the and one. Yeah, he constantly just plays a game with the defense, and you can tell he's having his way out there, as on this play he gets funneled into a double, but he pulls a trick out his sleeve and fakes the pass around the defender's body all out faking them out, so he can then score inside with ease. Hey, pretty nasty, right? Well, these fakes don't just come from the inside, as he compared the deceleration with the trickery on this little hezzy look back dribble, and if you look closely, you can see that Doug McDermott just gets lost out there, so with one defender to beat, Luka can get into the paint, feed the up fake to get Sochan on that trampoline, and finish the easy one in close. Truly a special talent Luka is, and you certainly don't want to let him get in his groove because that's when he can cook the defense in many ways. Say you let him get a head of steam as he pushes up the court, well here's where he can get you going one way before hitting you with this spin move, and many people may not think it, but this floater falling away to the left to then kiss this off the glass is very difficult to make, but hey, Dončić makes it look like a piece of cake. And let's say now he isn't going inside to cook you, well he has no problem isoing to create a look for himself, and over Vassell and Wemby, Luka steps back behind that line, lets it fly, and what is it? A money ball. Luka magic was truly in full effect. Whether it was him stringing together a combo to score the ball, or setting up his teammates for them to get easy buckets. Probably being the most notable one for the night, Luka attracted the attention of 3 Spurs defenders, which is something you can't do when you have someone as skilled as Luka on the court, so he can now easily find Irving in the corner to drill home the 3-ball. Although it wasn't the brightest night for Kyrie, and sometimes you could forget that he was out there on the floor, but there's something that we must discuss, and that is why does Kyrie barely get any foul calls? Like look, the first step is so deadly it melts defenders, so now with the backline of defense the only thing Kai has to worry about, he can absorb the contact, and if you watch closely, he switches hands in midair to use that left hand to bank this off the glass over Colin. Come on man, really should have been an and one, no cap. On this next play here, after facing up, he slides right past Jones with ease on the drive, and people really don't understand how difficult this double clutch lay is through contact, as it takes great body control and extreme focus to put the ball in the hoop. Now you tell me, did Kyrie deserve the whistle on those plays, or was there not enough contact? If you ask me, in my humble opinion, he definitely deserves the foul call, but I think since Kyrie has amazing control when he's hit with contact, it makes the ref think it really wasn't a foul, when in reality, it was. Later in the game on this play here, it might be the least contact, but after beating Sohan off the screen, he rises up abruptly getting bumped from behind and banks it off the glass for another one at the line. It was about time Irving got sent to the line during this game. He may not have been super aggressive or draining a ton of shots during the game, but for the buckets Kyrie did convert on, he made it look easy. It wasn't like Kyrie couldn't get an open shot versus Spurs, it was just that they weren't falling. He had plenty of good looks at the basket, and I'm sure going forward he would capitalize on them. Instead of just falling into the dust, Kai was able to set up teammates when the shots weren't dropping, and like I stated earlier, he knocked down one of the biggest shots of the game, so he showed up when it mattered most. With another addition to the team in Grant Williams, he had some brain farts where he made some boneheaded plays, but he actually had a solid game himself as well. When defending Wemby, he played more physical and was scrappy with his hands, just making it a little more difficult for him to score the ball. Since Wemby was playing at the 4 guarding Williams, it pulled him out of the paint due to his outside shooting threat, and this helped the Mavs tremendously when getting inside, as they didn't have to worry about Wemby around the rim. So is Grant Williams a plus or a negative? I think he's pretty neutral right now, we'll have to wait and see. Now I know the Mavs took home the dub, and that's mainly what we've been covering, but it's only right that we touch on Wembanyama for a little bit. For his first game in the NBA, it probably didn't go as him or people expected, but that doesn't mean he played bad at all. When you get in foul trouble like he was, it's really hard to get in your rhythm as you're constantly coming in and out of the game, but trust and believe, when Wemby was on the floor, he showed everyone exactly why he has such high praise and how much of a threat he can be on the offensive and defensive end. I made a full video covering Wemby, so I'll link that below if you want to check that out. The Mavs may have pulled away with this one, but they cannot progress through the season with a defensive performance like this. Other teams will for sure capitalize, and Dallas will have to fight harder and harder to come back and win games. But hey, let me know how you all feel about this first season win. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like before heading over to watch this Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving analysis. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.